Welcome back to my channel and welcome to night number 8 out of my 13 nights of fright. Tonight we're going to be talking about 1935's The Bride of Frankenstein. This is actually the very first Universal Picture sequel to 1931's Frankenstein, which we did review this yesterday. And if you are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a like. It really does truly help the channel out. I am trying to hit 400 subscribers. I have been trying to hit 400 subscribers for quite some time, so it would be pretty awesome if you can help me hit that little milestone there. So the director James Well initially did not want to actually do the sequel. He pretty much got everything he wanted out of Frankenstein, but with the success of it and all the investments that the studio had put on the sequel, on the Bride of Frankenstein, they kind of persuade him a little bit, and ultimately he did agree to do the sequel. Now, does this sequel fall within the rare occasion of the sequel surpassing the original? Is it just a good sequel, or is it one of the many sequels that are just straight up fails? Now, there is a third part, The Son of Frankenstein. I am not going to be covering that this year. Hopefully I can get to that one next year. So on a stormy night, Percy Shelley and Lord Byron praised Mary Shelley for her story of Frankenstein and his monster. Her intention for writing the novel was to impact a moral lesson, the consequences of a mortal man who tries to play God. Mary says she has more of the story to tell. And the next scene, we just kind of pick right back up from where Frankenstein ended. Up on the hill with the mill burning and the mob still up around. You know, honestly, now that I think about it, I feel like the mob, like the village people, are the true villains here in the story. You know, it just goes to one of those things of being afraid of something that you don't understand. And it's like, oh, let's kill it because it's different, it's strange. It's a really interesting opening. When I was first seeing it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like way different, you know, because it's like very proper, very like classy up here kind of deals. I'm like, I was kind of confused, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like a total like 180 compared to what Frankenstein looks like. Not even like 10 minutes within the movie, Frankenstein has gone on and killed like 2 people. He's walking a little bit more, and then like the nosy villager Minnie, she's there. Frankenstein don't kill her. I don't know why. Maybe because Minnie scared her, because, you know, Frankenstein kind of comes here and she's all like, ah! Like, seriously, you guys, she probably scared Frankenstein. I don't know. She took off running and like is trying to go like warn the village people that no, Frankenstein's monster. Whatever, it's just gonna be Frankenstein. That's how we know him, right? Is very much alive, and she's all like, oh, kind of deal. But nobody believes her. Why? I don't know. They know the monster, but they just don't believe her that he could survive the fire. And she's all like, nobody believes me? All right, this is off my hands because I've warned people. Like, something I did forget to mention in Frankenstein was the fake bodies. Like, you can honestly tell that it's fake. I mean, I'm sure back in that day you can tell, but they didn't have anything else. But it's just funny now. Maybe it's like full of newspapers or whatever. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, even though certain parts of it doesn't age, like I feel like this movie still works through to this day. Yes, a few things like the fake bodies just don't work anymore, but just as a whole, it works, you guys. So we do get a new doctor in town, and he kind of wants to join forces with Henry to kind of become gods and create fake life out of death, or just grow life, but you know, grow it like you do a plant. So yes, dear viewer, enter the Mad Doctor. He is definitely more of a Mad Doctor compared to Henry Frankenstein, which honestly, you guys, before I keep going, I kept calling him Victor in Frankenstein. I could have sworn his damn name was Victor. Isn't there a movie called Victor with what's his face from X-Men? Frankenstein? Did they change his name? Was it always Henry? It's Mad Doctor, because that's what he is. He's a Mad Doctor. Dr. Pretorius. He's actually like grown people. So when he kind of brings Henry around to kind of show him what he's done, and it's like, let me show you what I've done, my science, and we're gonna incorporate your stuff, and we're gonna be like the greatest things ever. He's literally incorporated like tiny little people like in jars. Like he's made grown tiny people. That technology, you guys, that is really cool, because it's very believable, like that there's actual people there. I wish they would have done the same thing with the bodies, because that would have been awesome. Dr. Pretorius is actually the one that persuades Henry to make the female monster, to make a companion for the monster. Now, like I said earlier, this town, this village, they're just ready to form mobs. Like, they literally form mobs like this. Now, like I said earlier, I feel like they're the real villains. Because poor monster, you guys. First of all, he didn't ask to be brought back from the dead. Like, he was living his best life being dead. Like, he literally says, when he talks to Dr. Pretorius, death is good, life is bad. He died, and Henry brought him back against his wishes, you guys. Oh Lord, against his wishes. Nowadays, you guys, I would not roll. I could already hear people trying to cancel this. How dare they bring this Frankenstein back? That would be a sad thing if they try to cancel this damn movie. Did I just start something? Oh God. This poor monster, you guys, he's just confused. He's afraid. He don't know how to use his words. I mean, if you think about it, he really is just trying to defend himself, okay? I mean, like, if somebody was coming at you with like a pitchfork, like a whoop, fire, I mean, you're not gonna just stand there and take it. I mean, you're not gonna also like kill them. I mean, you might, because I don't know what type of person you are, but a normal person wouldn't do it. But again, he was dead. Those moral stuff is not there no more. His brain was electrocuted and fried. So no. So he just doesn't know. And again, he doesn't know how to use his words. He's grunting away. He can be grunting like help me, but it's like and then he's big and like yes, this coming at you is gonna be scary. Poor little misunderstood monster. Look at him when he smiles. He looks so happy, and well, not maybe not innocent, but he looks so happy. So yes, he can be good, but he can't because people keep trying to murder him. So yes, he's going to defend himself, and that is why the only person that was actually nice to him in this movie was a blind hermit. He befriends him, you guys. He gives him shelter. He gives him food. He again shows him kindness and friendship, and it's all like, I've been lonely for so long and God has brought me a friend, and like just takes care of him. No judgment whatsoever on anyone. He's like, I'm blind, you can't talk, but you understand me, right? If you understand me, put your hand on my shoulder. And the monster like puts his hand on his shoulder, and they form a beautiful friendship, you guys. The hermit actually takes time to like teach him a few words, like a few basic words, and just like any good friend, teaches him some bad habits like smoking and wine is good. Now, him talking, Karloff was actually against. Karloff again is the one who plays Frankenstein, in case you don't recall, which is one of his more iconic roles. He just didn't feel like it was right for the character to speak. And obviously he was really wrong. A lot of people really liked that he actually spoke. Again, it's very few words, but I feel like it just brings character development to this character. It makes him more humane. So I'm very glad that he was basically like outvoted on that whole staying with the grunting and stuff. Plus, Karloff has a really nice speaking voice. Another little fun fact, he actually was the voice of the Grinch in the animated movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So many of you who probably have not seen this movie are probably like, okay, Stephanie, why do you continue to talk about Frankenstein when the movie is called The Bride of Frankenstein? Well, let me let you know something, you guys. The damn bride does not come out until like the last 15 minutes of the movie. That is right, the last 15 minutes of the movie. And the movie is called The Bride of Frankenstein. It actually had like that build up getting to making her, because again, we have to convince, doesn't take very long to convince Henry to let's build another monster, and then we're trying to get the parts for the monster. It's 15 minutes before we even see a damn body. Of course, at first she's like all wrapped up. We don't officially see her until the last 5 minutes of the movie, you guys, is when she is officially revealed. This is a very important lesson, you guys, because even though you are building somebody, you cannot force that person to love them. This was supposed to be a friend, a potential mate for the monster. The bride herself did not like Frankenstein, was also afraid of him. Now, before I do give you like my last few thoughts, if you haven't already, don't forget to give this video a like. It truly does help the channel out. hit that subscribe button. I am still trying to hit 400 subscribers, so hopefully you can help me reach that little milestone there. And of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and of course follow me on my social medias. The best place honestly will be Instagram. I'm on there all the time. If you want to get to know me a little bit better, a little behind the scenes of what kind of goes on when I'm editing, filming, that'll be the place to check me out. So the Bride of Frankenstein does have a very nice blend between humor and terror, but again, these movies are not scary at all, you guys. They're very, very entertaining. This one also is in black and white. This may be my last black and white review. I think so. I think this is the last movie I have in black and white. So the original Elizabeth May Clark was actually replaced in the sequel with 17-year-old Valerie Hobson. The wonderful script, cast, score, lighting, sets. It's awesome, you guys. This movie surpasses the original. Like, I know a lot of people really, really love Frankenstein, and it was a good movie, don't get me wrong, but like, I love this movie. Like, this would be like a continuing rewatch for me on Halloween. It is amazing. It is one of the few movies, in my opinion, that the sequel literally surpasses, you know, the original. So with that said, I'm gonna be giving The Bride of Frankenstein a large popcorn. Even though we only get 5 minutes of her technically on screen, I freaking love the movie. So I guess you could say it's like Frankenstein Part 2. It's kind of what it should be called, because it's still Frankenstein that we're getting until like the last 5 minutes. We're just talking about the bride, but we don't actually see her. Alright guys, that is it for me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.